COVID-19 has swept our nation and has really put everybody at a screeching halt when it comes to their business and to our daily lives. Pivoting our businesses and our routines can be extremely difficult and daunting during this time. Today I am going to provide you some tips on how my husband and I have pivoted our businesses, and then I'm also going to discuss some resources that are available to you. But before we get started into that information, are you looking to get started in real estate investing? Be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell. I am Janessa with Frontier Designs, and my company is your resource for expert real estate investing strategies. I have to be honest with you. COVID-19 crept up on me way too quickly than I wanted it to. I thought that myself and my businesses would have time to prepare and create a plan. But when the news hit, new decisions were being made hourly. Between my husband and me, we have a collective of 3 businesses. Each one of our businesses were affected in different ways. Today I'm going to discuss how our businesses were affected and how we are pivoting to keep our businesses afloat. All right, so the first business that I'm going to discuss is actually my husband's first company that he ever created. The company name is called Highline Water. He founded this company about 5 years ago, and what he does is he sources frack water in the oil field. Prior to COVID occurring, just a couple days prior, OPEC was meeting to discuss cutbacks. Just because COVID has affected everywhere globally, Saudi Arabia had proposed cuts when it came to oil production. Russia didn't want to have anything to do with that, so they did not sign the proposed cuts, and Saudi Arabia responded in the opposite direction, and they fought back by slashing its selling prices for oil, and then they also decided to increase oil output. So how that affected oil production in the United States is that it made the prices of oil drop. It dropped essentially like overnight. So with that being said, a lot of our upcoming work has been completely canceled because a lot of the companies that we work with directly have stopped their operations for the time being. So just to kind of put that into perspective for you, we had way over 10 jobs scheduled for 2020, and now we have just a couple, like just a small handful. But luckily, we've planned for this. Oil can be an extremely unstable career choice. So you have to plan ahead for these crashes to happen. Whether COVID had occurred or not, these kind of crashes happen all of the time. So you just have to be smart and be prepared. So prior to this crash, we made sure to save money and not overextend, because that's one of the best tips that I can provide you if you're working in the oil field industry. And then all we can really do right now is just plan for that someday. These jobs are still going to get done by the companies. It's just not going to happen this year. It could happen next year, 2 years down the line, whatever it might be. It's just not going to happen this year. So how did we pivot? We pivoted by being patient. We're making sure that all of our ducks are in a row, that we have dotted every I and crossed every T, and on each one of these jobs that we had planned, so when they are starting to accept bids, then we can bid it out, and we can bid it out, and we can be awarded that job, hopefully, someday in the future. So that is how we have pivoted with Highline. Unfortunately, in times like these, sometimes you just have to wait. You just have to be patient and do everything in your power to stay comfortable and to stay calm. All right, the next company that I'm going to discuss is actually a virtual reality arcade. It is our company called vArcade, and we started this business in mid of 2019. We were able to open our doors at the very end of December of 2019. And we had to close our doors in the middle of March of 2020. we were only open for a very few short months. You know, it's the best thing that we can do to keep our community safe. Nobody wants to go into an arcade where people have touched things or you put headsets on your head. Nobody wants to be surrounded by an environment like that. So it was the best thing to keep our community safe. But honestly, we're left with employees, rent, and leftover bills that we also need to get paid. And we have no sources of revenue coming in except gift cards. But even that cannot amount to our monthly operating expenses. Out of all of the businesses, that was probably the biggest reality check for me. How do you make revenue when you are a service-based industry? Gift cards are great, but that does not offer anyone the experience they're looking for. How do you generate an experience when the customers cannot physically be there? So many different questions I had running through my brain. But we decided to pivot by providing great content, video content, and educational information to our audience, all through social media. We will be doing live streams, educational videos on games, Q&As, and so many more amazing and so much more amazing video content. Video content has been on our to-do list for a long time, but we honestly didn't have the time to dedicate to it because we were operating our business and figuring out all the kinks with that. Now, with our doors closed, we have time to dedicate to creating video content that we can repurpose and reuse years down the line, which is incredible. We have time to play catch up, which is much needed. Yes, we'll be losing out on revenue. And does the rent concern us? Of course it does. But why let the negative get you down when new opportunities are opening up for your business? So we have decided to pivot our business by creating valuable content that our audience can enjoy. Plus, posting consistently on social media and with valuable content will help the community not forget that we exist. It could drive gift card sales, it could drive business traffic back up when we are open once again. Who knows what the result of this will be? During times like these, we cannot just hide underneath a blanket and act like nothing is happening. So we have to show up for our audience. We have to be present, and they will remember that out of all of this. So we are making sure to create valuable, entertaining, and educational content through the use of video that we can send out to our audience, and hopefully it will put smiles on their faces. Are you a retail or service-based business? If you are, in the comments below, let me know how you are pivoting during this time. All right, now we are going to jump into my business, Frontier Designs. So I just want to start off with a big disclaimer here. There are plenty of other real estate investors who are out there trying to get properties and trying to convince homeowners that right now is the best time to sell their property. I have a very different opinion, and right now I am saying, no way, Jose. All you would be doing is adding to their current fear of losing their house, when potentially there's a chance that they might not lose their house because there's plenty of government aid out there right now for individuals. So I am saying heck no to that. I am not going to be trying to find properties during this time unless they're currently on the MLS or another valuable or reliable source. I'm not going to wholesale or do those tactics. Right now, I'm just going to hunker down and provide positive and educational content to my audience. People are scared right now, and I am doing everything in my power to spread love and not fear. So you will honestly not hear me mention much of real estate investing these next couple months. It just goes against my moral compass. I will be providing information about how my current house flip is going and some projects that we're doing ourselves to save on the cost of building it. And I'll also be talking about some resources that are available to you as an investor or as a homeowner. I will cover known facts and provide education and positive content throughout this time of COVID. It's a hard time. It's when you're in an industry that is all about how do you find properties, how do you be a real estate investor. I feel like there's a couple different options. And right now I really just want to be spreading positive vibes. And like I said, I do not want to be feeding anybody's fear during this time. And also, to be completely honest with you, the real estate market is dropping and there is a huge potential that I'm going to lose money on this house flip. But I personally cannot control that. I cannot control the market, I cannot control real estate prices, and I certainly cannot control a pandemic. But I can control doing the best job I can on this house flip. Also, just making you aware that this project is going to be delayed even further, which could be a blessing in disguise. I'm not sure yet. I can't predict the future. But right now, inspectors are staying home. They're not going to houses that are being renovated. And I 100% get that, and I agree. That's what they should do. They need to stay home and stay safe. But that puts our project on hold indefinitely until they get back to work. But again, can I control their work schedule? No. But what I can control is being a lot more conscious of my budget, and I can ask myself, how can I finish this house flip to provide quality and save on cost? And then the best part is I can share my experience with all of you guys. I can say, hey, I'm a house flipper during COVID-19. This is what I learned. So I'm excited for that process. I'm excited to share my knowledge with all of you about this very strange and uncertain time we're in. So with all of that being said, you might ask, how are you pivoting? Well, I'm pivoting by showing up as a leader in my community. I'm showing up by providing joyful and educational information to my audience. I'm pivoting by not being worried about what I cannot control and focusing on what I am in control of. Out of this entire video, I just want you to have this one takeaway. Nothing positive will happen in your life if you allow fear to control your life, or if you try to induce fear in other people. Right now, people need smiles, they need laughter, they need to discover the joy in their new reality. So, what path will you take? Joy or fear? I have chosen mine, and I choose joy. All right, you guys, after my big spiel about ethics, I want to leave you with some resources that you can find helpful for if you're a small business owner. As many of you know, the government passed a stimulus package to help individuals, small businesses, and larger corporations. I just wanted to take the time to explain a few options that you have. Okay, so the Small Business Administration Disaster Loan is a loan that you can file for on the Small Business Administration's website. And this loan can go all the way up to $25,000 without any collateral. After that, you'll have to provide some sort of collateral. And so collateral is anything that can quickly be sold off for cash, so such as a house, car, stocks, bonds, etc. I know that these loans do have very low interest rates. They have an interest rate somewhere around 3.75%. And they're a great option if you need to keep your small business afloat during these times. Your next option is the CARES Act, which is the new stimulus package that the government just passed. Now, the CARES Act has a ton of different options for you as a small business. You have the Paycheck Protection Program, you have the Small Business Administration Debt Relief Program, and you also have the injury, disaster loan, or grant program. That one's a mouthful. But all of these are available to you. I wasn't going to bore you to death and talk about them in video form. I have actually created a free tip sheet for you, just because there is so much information to dive into about each one of these different programs. So if you want to download my free tip sheet, all you got to do is you have to go to www.frontier-designs.com and you can download it there. So everybody, be sure to go get that free tip sheet. I have created two. I have created a tip sheet for individuals and I have created one for small business. Everybody's situation is different and unique. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys need anything during this time, please reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. We are here to support you in any way that we possibly can. I want to thank you guys so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that bell before you leave, and I will see all of you guys in my next video.